Welcome back to Social Science class, Economics, chapter number 2, Sectors of the Indian Economy. An economy is the best understood when we study its components or sectors. In this chapter, three types of classifications are discussed: primary, secondary, tertiary, organized, unorganized, and public and private. It is very important to emphasize the changing roles of the sectors by drawing attention to the rapid growth of the service sector. Few fundamental concepts such as the gross domestic product, employment, etc. are also introduced in this chapter. Another important issue to be highlighted is about the problems caused by the changes in the roles of the sectors. And the chapter has also taken the example of unemployment and what the government can do to solve the unemployment. The declining importance of the agriculture and growing importance of the industry and service. While discussing the unorganized sector, the key issue of protecting the workers engaged in the sector should be also highlighted. So overall, the important contents which we will study in this chapter: the three sectors of economy, comparison of the three sectors of the economy, difference between organized and unorganized sectors, and classification of economic activities. What are economic activities? Economic activities are those activities which generate some income. The activities which provide some income are referred as an economic activity. For example, the computer engineer creating software for profit is making money from his work. Thus, that is an economic activity. So, on the basis of economic activity, we have three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Let us describe these three sectors in detail. The primary sector of the economy is a sector of an economy making direct use of natural resources, means exploiting the natural resources directly. And this includes agriculture, forestry and fishing, mining, and extraction of the oil and gas. As this sector is dependent on exploitation of natural resources, so it is also called as an agricultural sector. The next sector is secondary sector. The secondary sector covers the activities in which the natural products are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with the industrial activities. It is the next step after primary sector, as production is done in primary sector and then manufacturing is done in the secondary sector. So, the secondary sector of the economy includes the industries that produce a finished unusable product or are involved in the construction activity. Since this sector gradually became associated with the different kinds of industries that came up, so it is also called as an industrial sector. The third category comes tertiary sector. After primary and secondary, there is a third category of the activities that falls under the tertiary sector and is different from the above two activities. These are activities that help in the development of the primary and secondary sector. And these activities by themselves do not produce a good, but they are aid or a support for the production processes. So the tertiary industry is the segment of the economy that provides services to its consumers, including a wide range of businesses such as financial institutions, schools, and restaurants. It is also called as a tertiary sector, or it is also referred as a service sector. Service sector also includes some essential services that may not directly help the production of the goods. For example, we require the teachers, doctors, and those who provide personal services such as the washermen, barbers, cobblers, lawyers, and the people in the administrative and accounting works. And certain new services based on information and technology have been recently seen in the recent times, like the employment which is provided in the internet cafe, ATM booths, call centers, software companies, etc., has become the important service sector under the tertiary sector. Now let us compare these three sectors of the economy through the productivity and population. As thousands of the economic activities are going around us on the basis of these three sectors, so it makes almost impossible to take account of every such activity to be added in GDP, that is the gross domestic product. So to solve this problem, we check only the final goods and services in GDP. So the final price or the final goods which are used by the consumers are to be added for the GDP. Let us explain this with the help of one of the example. Like a farmer who sells wheat to a flour mill for rupees 8 per kg. The mill grinds the wheat and sells the flour to a biscuit company for rupees 10 per kg. And the biscuit company uses the flour and things such as the sugar and oil to make 4 packets of biscuit. And it sells biscuit in the market to the consumer for rupees 60 and rupees 15 per packet. 4 packets are made, so rupees 60 and 15 rupees per packet it is sold. Now the biscuits are the final goods because these will be used by the consumers or they will be consumed. So while calculating the GDP, we will take only the price of the biscuit as an production that will be added for the GDP. So with the help of this, we can take out the definition of GDP, that the value of final goods and services produced in all the three sectors during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year, and that is called GDP. More GDP of any country, that means the economy of the country is more bigger, the country is more rich. In India, this mammoth task is measured by the central government ministry, and this ministry, with the help of the various government departments of all the Indian states and union territories, collects information relating to total volume of goods and services and their prices, and then estimate the GDP. So now, as we have seen that we take the price of the production of the final good to calculate the GDP of the country, and we have seen the production activities which are done in various three sectors. Now we will see that historical changes in sector, as we have seen that the primary sector is the main sector which is producing things. So now at present we have the tertiary sector as the main sector. In the initial stages, the primary sector was the main sector, but now at the present scenario, we see that most of the people are earning in service sector. So generally it has been noted from the histories of many now developed countries that at initial stages of the development, primary sector was the most important sector of the economic activity. Initial stage means in the starting stage, but at present we have the tertiary sector. So why and how this change has occurred? And initial stages of development, primary sector was the most important sector of the economic activity in a country, and with the innovation in farming methods, agriculture sector began to produce much more food than before. Then there was a slight change over a long period of time, more than 100 years, and especially because of the introduction of the new methods of the manufacturing were introduced, factories came up and started expanding. And those people who had earlier worked on farms now began to work in factories in large numbers. So the people started working in industries, and some people also get involved in the transportation. And this gradually secondary sector became the most important in economy and providing employment. Then again, in the past 100 years, that means the recent stage, there has been a further shift from secondary to tertiary sector in developed countries. The service sector has become the most important in terms of total production, and most of the working people are also employed in the service sector. This is the general pattern observed in developed countries. So overall, we have seen that the historical change has been seen in the development of the sectors. At the initial stage, the primary sector was the most important sector. Then we saw the change due to the introduction of the industries. The secondary sector became more important, and in the past 100 years, it has been visualized that the tertiary sector has become more important. The service sector has become the most important sector in terms of total production and started employing more people. Now the primary sector and tertiary sector in India, let us see the contribution of these three sectors in India. This we will tally with the two different years. In the period of 1973 and 74, the primary sector has contributed maximum to the GDP. But in 2013-14, the tertiary sector has contributed maximum in GDP due to various factors. What are the various factors which has contributed in rising of the tertiary sector? There are the four important factors: introduction of the basic services, development of services, rise in income level, introduction of information and communication technology. Let us describe them. Introduction of the basic services. Basic services like the hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, police stations, courts, village administrative offices, municipal corporations, defense, transport, banks, insurance, companies, etc. are referred as an basic needs for the population, and they are required. So these can be considered as the basic services, and in a developing country, the government has to take responsibility for the provision of these services, and these services provide the service or employment. So thus the importance of basic services has risen the importance of tertiary sector. Secondly, how the tertiary sector has become important: development of the services. The development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services. How? Such as the transport. If the agriculture has improved, ultimately the transportation facilities have also been increased. Trade, storage, etc. And greater the development of the primary and secondary sector, more would be the demand for such services. Thirdly, rise in income level. As the income level has risen, certain sections of the people start demanding many more services, like nowadays eating outside, going to the restaurants, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional trainings, etc. So as the income has increased of the population, ultimately they demanded more facilities, and those more facilities has created the more services. So it has risen the importance of tertiary sector. Fourthly, introduction of the information and communication technology. Over the past decades or so, certain new services such as those based on information and communication technology have become important and essential. The production of these services has been rising rapidly, as nowadays we are totally dependent on technological uses. However, you must remember that not all the service sector is growing equally well. Service sector in India employs many different kinds of people. At one end, there are a limited number of services that employ highly skilled and educated workers, and on the other hand, there are a very large number of workers engaged in services like the small services, like the small shopkeepers, repair persons, transport persons, etc. So these people barely manage to earn a living, and yet they perform these services because there is no alternative opportunity for work. Hence, only a part of this sector is growing in importance. Only few people, those who are skilled, are actually employed in this sector. Rest are just engaged, showing employment but not earning better. So where are most of the people employed? This we will explain with the help of this graph as well as explanation. In the graph, it shows that the period during 1973 and 74, the 40% is contributed by the primary sector in GDP of the country, and the secondary sector contributed only 12%, and 48% is contributed by the tertiary sector. So we can see that the share of sector in GDP in the year 1973-74, primary sector is contributing more in GDP in the year 1973 and 74. And even though employment in the primary sector is highest during these years, 1973 and 74, employment is more and share of sector in GDP is also more in year 1973-74. Now the change. What change have been seen? The change which have been visualized, that in years 2013 and 14, the share of sector in GDP has been increased by tertiary sector, not by the primary. Now the tertiary sector is giving the maximum share in GDP according to the survey of 2013-14 report. But the employment is still seen in primary sector only in these years, 2013-14. So here we justify that although the employment is more in primary sector, but the share of production GDP is maximum by the tertiary sector. So this graph, this data shows that in primary sector, the people are employed although they are not at all needed. Such situation could be referred as an underemployment. So in agricultural sector especially, the underemployment is existing. As a result, more than half of the workers in the country are working in the primary sector, mainly in the agriculture, producing only the very less share of GDP. And due to this underemployment, ultimately the you can say the GDP of the country is not increasing with the help of primary sector. The graph could be visualized here. Now, as the disguised unemployment have been introduced, that is, underemployment has created the situation of disguised unemployment. So, what is disguised unemployment? The situation where more people are engaged in the agriculture than the necessity. This kind of underemployment is hidden in contrast to someone who does not have a job and is clearly visible as unemployed. It is also called as an disguised unemployment.